Where we at with it? There we go. There we go. This is your boy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Better late than never. Really appreciate you guys for always locking in on the content, man. Make sure you guys smash that like button. The first person to make themselves known is my man, Jorge Mendoza. Jorge, welcome to the show, man. Like I said, I appreciate you guys. I'm your man, Tone DeShields II. If you're new to the content, I hope you stay for a long time, and I hope you're here for a good time. And if you don't, make sure you smash that like button anyway, and I hope you guys make it back to the show because I'm always going to be here in full effect. The vibes is right, the energy is right, the temperature is right, and we calm, cool, and copacetic heading into the Super Bowl. Your Philadelphia Eagles are in the Super Bowl 57 at that, facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs, the matchup of all matchups. Did we want anything less? Let's be totally frank about this. This is the matchup, and I've been saying it all playoffs. This is the matchup we all deserve. I said that about the San Francisco matchup and the NFC Championship. That's the matchup that we all deserved. I'll say this again. In Super Bowl 57, this is the matchup that we all deserve. Nothing more, nothing less. Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes, the decorated veteran versus the young OG trying to make a name for himself in the NFL. Man, what more can you say? What more do you want? The young blood who's been trying to prove himself time and time again. That's the energy you want. That's the vibes you want, man. And I got to tell you right now, as unbiased as I try to be, it's clear that I'm an Eagles supporter. I never hide it. I never fake it. Y'all always going to know where I stand. But ultimately, man, this is going to be a hell of a game. And there's so many storylines, so many narratives coming out of this game. And it's exciting because you really don't know who's going to win the game. You just don't know. Both teams are really talented. I think the Eagles are more talented. I think the Eagles are deeper. I think the Philadelphia Eagles have the better overall roster, but they have Patrick Mahomes. They have Travis Kelce. They have Andy Reid calling plays. So we got to be frank with ourselves, you guys. This isn't going to be a cakewalk. It won't be a walk in the park, no matter what you may think or how outmatched you believe the Kansas City Chiefs are. This will not be a walk in the park because this is the game of all games, the matchup of all matchups. You feel what I'm saying? I don't walk into any room underestimating my opponent or underestimating anybody for that matter. And neither should you. You should go into this game measured. You should go into this game confident. But most importantly, you should go into this game excited and ready to throw dukes with any and everybody who got something to say about it. Because the Philadelphia Eagles do deserve to be here. That's the reality. You got some people saying the path was easy. Who did they play to get here? Who gives a damn? I told people before the playoffs even started for us, I said, look, the best possible path is running through the Giants, and then you got to deal with Brock Purdy in the NFC Championship. Straight like that. That was my mindset. I don't care who I play. I don't make the schedule. I don't set up the matchups. Do I care who the Eagles play? Hell no. My ego ain't that big. My pride not that strong. Who gives a damn who we played to get here? We're here. You notice all the people who talking most of the trash about the Philadelphia Eagles, they're sitting home. I saw this clip circulating from Good Morning NFL, or whatever. What's the show called? Is it Good Morning NFL? Whatever it is. I like the show, by the way. Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager. I like those guys. McCourty. You know, when Kay Adams was on there, I like Kay Adams more than his new girl. No disrespect to her, but I just think Kay Adams was a better fit. But listen, people grow, people go on to do different things, and she has an opportunity to take over Good Morning NFL. Kudos to her. I'm just a Kay Adams person, but I digress. You had Julian Love on there today. Was it today or was it yesterday? You had Julian Love on Good Morning NFL today, and he had some choice words for Nick Sirianni. He said he's lucky to just be there. He basically said Nick Sirianni is riding the coattails of his roster. He's just along for the ride. Ain't that the kind of talk that got other people in trouble? Isn't that the kind of talk that they were saying about Jalen Hurts that he's just along for the ride. Now Nick Sirianni is just along for the ride. Come on, man. Shit. At some point, y'all got to start putting respect on people's names, man. It comes a time and a place where you speak, and it comes a time and a place where you need to be humble. Come on, Julian Love. You ain't earned nothing in this league yet. You made it to the NFL. You're a very good young player. Your future is promising in the NFL. The New York Giants have a promising future. But understand that it's levels to this. It's levels to this. It's the reason we beat y'all 38-7. Y'all heard me? It's the reason. It's the reason the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New York Giants in Week 18. Right? It's the reason you got beat 38-7. It's the reason you got beat 22-16. It's the reason you got beat 48-22. It's levels to this, man. And you know this, man. Shout out to my man, Chris Tucker. It's levels to this. You know, some people got to know their place, man. Jorge, exactly. He's yelling this from outside the after party. How you yelling this? How you yelling this from the bar, man? You trying to yell over the yo, don't you hate when people try to get your attention from across the dance floor in the club? And I ain't been to a club in a long time, by the way. But I've been to enough clubs to know, don't you hate when somebody trying to get your attention from all the way across the bar or all the way across the dance floor? They screaming, yo, yo. Don't you hate that? But it's a reason they trying to get your attention from across the bar. It's a reason they trying to get your attention from across the dance floor because they can't go where you are. You got to watch out for cats like Julian Love. That's the kind of guy that's a distraction. Don't take the cheese, Eagles. Don't take the cheese. Like Jorge said, he's trying to yell and get our attention from the after party. Bro, you're not even invited. You didn't even get an invitation. You didn't even get a wristband. You still at the bar trying to get the bartender attention. You still over there trying to get a vodka soda, a Red Bull and vodka. You talking crazy for a guy who's not even in the dance. You talking crazy for a guy that didn't even look like he belonged on the same football field as the Philadelphia Eagles. You gotta watch your tongue. You gotta watch your mouth, man. You got to. This is the problem with people. They put the cart before the horse. This is the problem. You cannot keep doing this. I can't stand people that get too big for their britches that ain't done nothing yet. We got to be careful how we speak, man. Seriously. And sure, he went on TV. It probably was tongue-in-cheek. He probably was trying to, just cause a stir, trying to just rattle our feathers. Or what is it, ruffle our feathers? That's what it is. But guess what? You did that, and you got my attention, kid. You got my attention. And now you're going to keep it. You're going to keep it. Like, you can't, I'm tired of people talking crazy when they're not even in the same stratosphere. I can't stand people that talk crazy about somebody and they're not even breathing the same air. How many people in your life that you came across talk trash about you, but they're not even pushing the same buttons as you. They're not even in the same category as you. They're not even making the same type of moves as you. Isn't that the worst? People got so much to say where they at home, packing lunches for their kids. I can't stand that, man. You see, I'm all about giving respect where respect is due. I'm all about keeping it a buck, keeping it real, but I'm also never, ever going to play myself. Ever. You'll never see me playing myself. Never. I take my respect. I take my credibility. I take all that seriously. I take my reputation very seriously, and you'll never see Tone DeShields playing himself. Ever. Ever. I'll shut my mouth before you catch me playing myself. Come on, man. People got to do better when they get opportunities to speak. Just because you got a mouth, that don't mean you got to use it. That's the problem with people, man. You see, all you had to do was go on live television, bow down to the ring, and move on to the next topic. But nah, you trying to go at my head coach, Nick Sirianni, the man that is the lifeblood of this team. Him and Jalen Hurts, man, the perfect yin and yang combination. But we're going to move on, though. We're not going to spend too much time on this guy, man. We're not going to spend too much time on the little giants. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But I want to transition to the topic that I really want to talk about. I want to transition to a topic that gets me going. Let's make one thing clear. Hassan Reddick is a dog. Hassan Reddick is a dog. And I say that because Hassan Reddick not only led the Philadelphia Eagles in sacks in the regular season, but he also led the Philadelphia Eagles in sacks in the playoffs. Through 19 games, he has 19 and a half sacks. 19 and a half sacks through 19 games. My man is averaging a sack a game. And he's been wrecking games time and time again. Now, sure, right? Let's really track this. In week one, Hassan Reddick only had 2 tackles, no sacks, right? As a matter of fact, Hassan Reddick didn't get his first sack until week 3 against the Washington Commanders. And in that game, he had a sack and a half. He had a sack and a half and a strip fumble. And then at that point, he was off to the races. The following game against Jacksonville, he had 2 sacks, 1 strip fumble, or 1 strip sack. Then the following game in Arizona, he had another sack. And then in Dallas, he didn't get a sack. Well, we were home in that game, but, we played Dallas. And then he got a sack against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then he didn't get a sack against the Houston Texans. And then the game we lost against the Washington Commanders, he had a sack. And then against the Colts, he had a sack. Then against Green Bay, he had half a sack. And my God, he was on a mission. Tennessee, he got a sack. The New York Giants game, he got a sack. Chicago, he got 2 sacks. Dallas, he got 2 sacks. New Orleans, he had 2 sacks. The young man was on a mission. He did force a fumble in that Houston game, though. If I'm not mistaken. No, I take that back. He forced a fumble in the first Washington Commanders matchup. He forced 2 fumbles in the Jacksonville matchup. He forced a fumble in the Chicago matchup, forced a fumble in the Dallas matchup. The dude is a dog. Can't be tamed. And, I look at it like this. Hassan Reddick is worth his weight in gold. Remember, in Hassan Reddick's career, it didn't start off as we know it to be now. Let's really put this in perspective. In 2017, when Hassan Reddick was drafted in the first round, 13th overall by the Arizona Cardinals, he didn't really come out the gate wreaking havoc. As a matter of fact, his rookie year in 2017, he only had 2.5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. Didn't really make too much of a difference on the defensive side of the ball. In 2018, he came back for his sophomore season. 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Still not really wrecking the game, but he had more tackles, so he was active. 2019, played all 16 games, only had 1 sack. Almost was non-existent from a pass rushing perspective. But remember, keep in mind, the Arizona Cardinals had him playing in an off-ball linebacker role, and that's not who he is. A lot of people thought that because of his size, 6'1", 240 pounds. Not really that long, right? Doesn't have the prototypical pass rusher body like a Josh Sweat. But still, Hassan Reddick kept grinding, and eventually in his 4th season with the Cardinals, his fourth year as a rookie, he recorded his best season in the NFL. 12 and a half sacks, 6 forced fumbles. Dude just came out the gate bussing. 4 pass deflections. So when you think about it from that perspective, the Cardinals was using him all wrong, right? The Cardinals originally, the first 3 years, used him as an off-ball linebacker. And somebody came in. I don't know who it was, but someone came into that building and said, this dude is not an off-ball linebacker. He's a pass rusher. He's an edge rusher. But we've been using him all wrong all along. So his fourth season with the Cardinals, he records 12 and a half sacks, his best year as a pro. But the Cardinals didn't decide to bring him back. Because you got to think about what they were thinking about. They were thinking, well, we have 3 years versus 1 year of no production. He gave us 1 year of production and 3 years of no production. How can we bet on that? So they decided to move on from him. They decided to let him walk, and he went to the Carolina Panthers. With the Carolina Panthers, he recorded 11 sacks on the season, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Still giving you double-digit sacks, productive in another system. So he showed you he wasn't necessarily a one-hit wonder. But still, the Carolina Panthers weren't sure because he was limited in stopping the run. You couldn't really drop him back. So the Carolina Panthers still couldn't really figure him out, right? So they decided to move on. They didn't decide to give him another contract. Also, they had Brian Burns, and they felt like let's ride with the younger guy. Understandable. But then he gets his opportunity to come home to the Philadelphia area. He's a Camden, New Jersey guy, but went to Temple University. Was on the team, got kicked off the team, had to come back as a walk-on. His story is turbulent, but man, the rise to fame is spectacular. In 2022, he decided to sign with the Philadelphia Eagles, playing for his hometown team. You listen to Hassan Reddick talk, you know he's from the area. You know he's from the Philly area. You know he's from Jersey. You can hear, you know he's from Camden, right over the water. Camden and Philly, we rub shoulders. Let's be honest. If you're from the area, Camden and Philly, we rub shoulders. Right over the bridge. So he comes to Philadelphia, gets a 3-year deal worth about, 45, 50 million or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, but I think he signed a 3-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles worth about 45 to 50 million. And he comes in and he starts off a bit slow. People are questioning, wow, like I'm not seeing it yet. People are criticizing the ball. Like, damn, like he's not making a difference just yet. But man, when he came along, that man came along, did he not, you guys? 49 total tackles on the season. 16 sacks on the regular season. 5 forced fumbles. 3 fumble recoveries. 3 pass deflections. We got to start giving guys credit where credit is the hell due. He had a career year with his hometown team, the Philadelphia Eagles. A career year. I'll say it again. A career year. And then not only did he have a career year, he was relentless. He was doing it against any and everybody. It didn't matter who was on the platter. They was getting 8. And that's the type of time Hassan Reddick is on. And the moment he knew that this team was special, the moment he knew he'd have a chance to play for a Super Bowl, he started going in. He started locking in to the point where you can't even find him anymore in post-game meetings or post-game press conferences. I spoke to John McMullen, and I asked him, what are you seeing different from Hassan Reddick? What are you seeing? It seems like this guy is locked in more than ever. And John basically said, look, Hassan Reddick basically went 0 dark 30 mode. You can't really find him after practice. You can't really find him after games, really, because you know what he's doing? He's going right to the treatment center, taking care of his body. He understands what's on the table. He understands what's at stake. And Hassan Reddick is doing any and everything to make sure that he is good to go, taking care of his body, making sure he's fresh, making sure that motor stays running. And when you have a guy that's that dedicated to the craft, that dedicated to the mission, to the goal, to the destination, he's that dedicated. When you have a guy like that, you can't take that for granted, Philadelphia. You can make an argument Hassan Reddick is probably the biggest offseason addition, the biggest or the most productive free agent signing we've had since Terrell Owens. You can make an argument for that. Maybe the biggest free agent signing, the most vital free agent signing on defense in this decade, in this century. So far, he's proven to be one of the best pass rushers the Philadelphia Eagles have ever had. Now, Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Seth Joyner, you know what I'm saying? Trent Cole, you feel me? Javon Curse. They may have something, they will have something to say about that. But if you name that Reggie White, if you name that Jerome Brown, Hassan Reddick got something to say about it. And I'm a Trent Cole guy, by the way. I love Trent Cole. Trent Cole gave the Eagles a lot of great years. But I just think Hassan Reddick is just a freak of nature. Trent Cole was a bigger body, 6'3", 270 pounds, a more prototypical defensive end. And also a two-time Pro Bowler. But Hassan Reddick, man, Pro Bowl, All-Pro. He's locked in. Trent Cole gave us multiple years, by the way, of double-digit sacks. Trent Cole had a stretch where he gave us, from 2007, he gave us 12.5 sacks. 2008, 9 sacks. 2009, 12.5 sacks. 2010, 10 sacks. 2011, 11 sacks. And then he kind of started to decline a little bit. But then he bounced back with 8 sacks in 2013, 6.5 in 2014. But Trent Cole, for a solid stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For a solid 6-7 year stretch, Trent Cole was the best pass rusher on the Eagles. Without a shadow of a doubt. But Hassan Reddick, man, the way he rushes the passer, the plays he's making, the high impact plays he's making in the high leverage situations, he's knocking guys out of games. Can Hassan Reddick wreck the Super Bowl? Can he wreck Super Bowl 57? Can he wreck Patrick Mahomes? Can he make him uncomfortable? Now, look, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's a guy that understands defenses, understands how to move in that pocket, understands how to avoid the pass rush. He's a very mobile guy. I wouldn't consider him a running quarterback, but he's a quarterback that knows how to move in that pocket, isn't afraid to shake and bake. High level of awareness, high football IQ. But can Hassan Reddick get to him? Keep in mind, Patrick Mahomes is dealing with an ankle sprain, and high ankle sprain at that. That is a very complicated injury. Not complicated in terms of understanding the longevity of recovery or the brevity of the injury. Not complicated in that regard. Fairly straightforward injury, but I say complicated because of the stakes. I say complicated because of the stage he has to deal with this. You feel what I'm saying? So let's keep in mind, right? Patrick Mahomes is dealing with a high ankle sprain. Hassan Reddick is hot right now. Iron meets iron. This is a moment where Hassan Reddick has to step up. Oh, you guys, we got Senior Trash Bag in the building. Pierre Trash Bag, what's going on? We got Pierre Trash Bag in the building, y'all. This the weirdo that was in my comment section. This the weirdo that was in my comment section talking about it wasn't a catch. Oh my God. Y'all, make sure y'all give PR Trash Bag hell. I need y'all to give PR Trash Bag hell. Because you know what y'all want to know the hill he dying on, y'all? Y'all gonna laugh at this. Y'all gonna crack the hell up. I need y'all to follow me on this, man. We got Pierre Trash Bag talking about it wasn't a catch. Devontae Smith didn't catch it. They should have called it. What were they thinking giving him that ball? What were they doing? Yo, Pierre funny, man. He trying to say I'm playing victim, right? He trying to say I'm playing victim, but he wants sympathy from me. Y'all, keep it funky, right? Let's keep it real, y'all. And look, y'all know how we give it up. Y'all know how we give it up here, right? We transparent. We hold each other accountable, right? We hold each other accountable in this live chat. We hold each other accountable in Chalk It Up Sports. Y'all don't let me pass with nothing, and I respect y'all for that. But he talking about I'm playing the victim, but he wants sympathy from me. Take your ass home. Pack your bags and go to Cabo, man. Yo, I almost came out of character for a second. Pack your bags. Pack your trash bags. Pack your money bags. Pack all your bags. You're going to Cabo. Book your cruise. It's time to book your cruise. It's time to take the kids to summer school. It's time for you to take your ass home, kid. Come on, man. We got to keep it funky here. He's saying it's not a catch, but the refs didn't say it wasn't a catch. Kyle Shanahan didn't throw the challenge. So what happened? Tell me what happened, right? Tell me what the result was. Don't get mad at the process. Tell me what the result was. Tell me what the box score says, right? Did he catch it? I don't know. The play counted. I don't know. Yo, D. Aldridge, turn your pads in. Like my man LB said, time to turn your pads in. We going to see Rihanna. Hey, Black Line, he mad. He can't see Riri. Yo, he came to the live chat to get bombed on. Is he serious? He came to the wrong live chat. He came to the live chat to get bombed on. Why didn't Kyle Shanahan listen to his players? Yo, Philly, you feel me? Hey, yo, Castro, you hear what they talking about, man? You hear what this boy Pierre Trash Bag talking about? Chris Scott said, like Brady Mac said, these kids crazy. These kids crazy. Yo, Philly, Chris Scott, he thought he was going to come to this live chat and get sympathy from me? Come on, man. He think about what he hung on. He hung on, it wasn't a catch. He did not catch that ball. I'll stand on that. Oh, my God. 31-7. That's all I'm going to say, man. 31-7, man. We the party boys, RJ. He can't even come to the club, man. We can't take somebody that cry when they don't get their way, man. We can't take nobody to the club that cry when they don't get their way. He the type of boy that if a chick turn him down, he gonna say, I ain't want you anyway. Yo, listen, we're gonna keep it funky here because this how my team carry it. This how we carry it in this community. He probably long gone right now. You hear him? Pierre Money. He says, "Sports not your thing, player." But he in my live chat vibing with us. He want to be down with the team so bad. Come on, man. You see, I got so much respect for 49ers fans. You giving them a bad name, Pierre. You got to chill. You giving them a bad name. Y'all down bad right now. Live with it. Live with it. Live with it. Y'all down bad. You got to live with it. You got to live with it. He said Mike Riviera said they didn't get the angle, clown. That's why. Come on, man. Your own DB knew it wasn't a catch. The DB said it. You listen, we all saw the play. When Devontae came down with it, or lack thereof, when he came down with it, right? The DB, your own safety was like, no, he didn't catch that. I saw it. Your own safety saw it. So why didn't Kyle Shanahan believe him? You feel what I'm saying? Help me understand this, y'all. We all watched this play out with our own 2 eyes. Well, in my case, 4 eyes. We all watched it play out. The 49ers safety said, no, he didn't catch that. Devontae Smith got up. Yo, hurry up. He knew he didn't catch it. His body language told you he didn't catch it. But for some reason, Kyle Shanahan had his face dug deep in his play calling sheet. He couldn't throw a challenge in the first quarter. It's the first quarter. Throw the challenge. It's the first quarter. Throw the challenge. Ain't that deep. Kyle Shanahan is stupid. Just admit your head coach is stupid. He waiting for the damn replay. Your own player said, yo, coach, he didn't catch it. Devontae Smith, he hurrying up. It was obvious he didn't catch it. To your point, it was obvious. We got to keep it real, man. We got to keep it funky. Your head coach dropped the ball. Like Devontae Smith, right? Oh, my God. That is crazy, man. How can we get mad? You should be mad at yourself. You should be mad at your head coach, man. We gotta be honest. Hey, Black Line, tell him we can't talk about what if. We gotta talk about what happened. Delco, Lala D, we like Ewing. What's going on, man? Patriots 1776. We can't talk about what we wanted to happen. We got to talk about what actually happened. Kyle Shanahan dropped the ball. Everybody is killing Kyle Shanahan for not throwing a challenge flag. Everybody. Why didn't he throw it? It's the first quarter. Who cares about a timeout? Who cares? Who cares, man? But no, Kyle Shanahan, man, that's been his problem his whole career, right? That's been his problem. He is stuck on, he's so wrapped up in his play sheet. He's so wrapped up in trying to be the most clever guy on the field. He's so wrapped up in trying to call the most elaborate play. His game or play-by-play situational play calling, or just his read of a situation is terrible. We've seen opportunity after opportunity after opportunity fail. We've seen him fail opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. We've seen it because he can't get his head out of his ass. He's so wrapped up in trying to be clever, he lacks common sense. You know what my mom used to tell me back in the day? Let me tell you this, man. Let me let y'all in on something. You know, I grew up, I grew up getting good grades all the time, man. I always was considered to be an intelligent student. I was always considered to be studious. You know, I always grew up doing the right thing for the most part. You know, I had a little bit of a smart mouth. You know, I knew words as a kid. Probably I shouldn't have known. And sometimes, despite how smart I was, I failed at the most simple situations. Simple situations, right? Despite how intelligent I was from a notebook perspective, despite how book smart I was, there was a moment in my life where I lacked common sense. Y'all know what my mom used to say to me all the time? My mom used to say, boy, you're so smart, you're dumb. You so smart, you're dumb. You think you know every damn thing, but you realize you don't know a damn thing. So I put that same label on Kyle Shanahan. You're so smart, you're dumb. You're so caught up on trying to be clever. You're so caught up on trying to call the most elaborate play. You lack common sense. You lack situational awareness. But we ain't going to stay too long on this topic, man. It was all fun and games until the rabbit got the gun. It's all fun and games until you home and we in the Super Bowl. It's all fun and games, man. Hey, Delco, you ain't wrong. The best common sense is the best sense. And Kyle Shanahan lacked his best sense. His own safety said, yo, he didn't catch that. Devontae Smith body language told you he didn't catch that. But Kyle Shanahan didn't read the room. The whole staff, the nerds upstairs, didn't read the room. So, hey, that's what happens when you come into Philly thinking you won the game already. Lala D, you bring up a good point. They walked into the game thinking they already won before they stepped on the field. And it showed. It showed. But let's move on, y'all. Let's move on. I want to continue to talk about the trench play in this Super Bowl, right? Hassan Reddick, man. This is going to be a real big game for him. I think so because the Chiefs have one of the better offensive lines in the NFL, right? It's a fact. They got Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Andrew Wiley. You know what I mean? They have a really good offensive line. Definitely Orlando Brown and Creed Humphrey. They're their two best offensive linemen. So this defensive line will have a task ahead of them. That's a fact. But also, I think this defensive line can run with the best of them. That's what I think. DM Oheim, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. You know, we're sitting here talking about Hassan Reddick's dominant play. We're talking about Hassan Reddick and the impact he's had on the game and if he can wreck the Super Bowl or not, man. He has an opportunity of a lifetime. He's been so locked in. He's been so locked in on his recovery, so locked in on keeping that motor running. He's been so locked in on being the best version of himself. And man, oh man, we can't deny what our eyes have been seeing. Can Hassan Reddick keep this up for years to come? We know Reggie White and Jerome Brown are immortalized. But outside of those guys, can Hassan Reddick go down as being one of the best pass rushers in Eagles history? Again, Reggie White and Jerome Brown are immortalized. They are untouchable. Untouchable. Outside of Reggie White and Jerome Brown, can Hassan Reddick go down as being one of the best pass rushers the Philadelphia Eagles have ever had on their roster? Remember, we signed him to a 3-year deal, so you know we don't know how long this motor will keep burning. We don't know, so we got to take advantage of the opportunity now. This Philadelphia Eagles team got 70 sacks on the regular season. 70 sacks. Uptown Sports, my bad. Claude Simmons too. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Claude Simmons. You know what I mean? Chris Scott says Hassan Reddick's nickname is the Nightmare. Oh yeah. And by the way, you guys, I apologize for not having a live stream yesterday. I had a pretty rough day. I had to get some things in order, man. And I hope you guys were able to lock in with me. Yesterday evening, me and John McMullen had a long conversation. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. I appreciate y'all as always, man. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, man. Y'all always lock in. Y'all always hold it down for the kids. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, man. It means a lot. But yeah, Hassan Reddick has an opportunity in front of him, a big opportunity. And I'm excited to see where this thing goes, right? I know I'm excited. So, Eagles offensive line versus the Chiefs defensive line. I think the Eagles offensive line got this in the bag. I think the Eagles offensive line win this matchup 10 days out of 10 days. If this Eagles offensive line had to run up against this Chiefs defensive line 100 times, the Eagles offensive line wins 101 times. I firmly believe that. Mesa Musa says KC's O-line is good, but Mahomes has been on the run all playoffs, sacked multiple times in both games. That's a very, very good point. That's a very good point. You see, the Chiefs' offensive line isn't necessarily playing their best football, but the Eagles' offensive line, they are playing their best football. As a matter of fact, let's really look into that. I'm glad you brought that up, Mansa Musa. Let's really find out how many times he's been sacked these past couple games. Let's really find out. So, where is it? Well, this doesn't look accurate. He definitely was sacked in the Jaguars game. This can't be accurate, if I'm not mistaken. It's saying here he wasn't sacked in the Jaguars game, but he was sacked 3 times in the Bengals game. Is that accurate? I don't know. But regardless, he was sacked multiple times in that AFC Championship, 3 times. If he got sacked 3 times against that pass rush, how many times would you think he may get sacked against this Eagles pass rush? Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest about it. Let's call it what it is. DM says this game will be won in the trenches. We got dogs on both sides. That's the key. You see, the Chiefs' defensive line is top heavy. Chris Jones, maybe Frank Clark, and then after that, it's like a bunch of guys, right? Not taking nothing away from them. I think they have over 50 sacks on the season, that team. I think they have over 50 sacks on the season. Let me double check that stat. I think this team has well over 50 sacks on the season. The Chiefs have 55 sacks on the season compared to the Philadelphia Eagles 70 sacks on the regular season. So they have a pretty good pass rush as well. Let's call it what it is. Chris Jones, 15.5 sacks. George Karlaftis, the rookie, 6 sacks. Frank Clark, 5 sacks. Mike Dana, 5 sacks. Carlos Dunlap, 4 sacks. Kalen Saunders, 3.5 sacks. They got a nice pass rush. 55 sacks on the season is pretty good. You see, the Philadelphia Eagles, they had a transcendent season from a pass rush perspective. 70 sacks on the regular season, that hasn't been done in quite some time. So you can make an argument the Philadelphia Eagles are overachieving, whereas though the Kansas City Chiefs are right on par, right? But again, though, Chris Jones is a game wrecker. But Jason Kelce has been a guy who's been able to deal with guys like that. Can somebody help me out? Who's the defensive tackle for the Titans? Who's the star defensive tackle for the Titans? Somebody help me out here. I need some help. Is it Phillips? Somebody help me out, man. The defensive tackle for the Titans. Star D tackle. All pro. But yeah, Jason Kelce, he made Dexter Lawrence, Jeffrey Simmons. Thank you, Uptown Sports. I appreciate you. Jeffrey Simmons. He made him disappear. Jason Kelce made him disappear. Dexter Lawrence made him disappear. Right? Jason Kelce made Eric Armstead disappear. You follow where I'm going with this? Jason Kelce, that interior offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles, it's not, they can handle anybody. Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelce, Isaac Samalu, all pros and pro bowlers. The whole offensive line is full of all pros and pro bowlers, man. This Chiefs defensive line is going to have to put in that work. And then you got to deal with a mobile Jalen Hurts. They're going to really have to put in some work, man. Y'all know Jalen Hurts has only been sacked one time in his playoffs? One time. Only been sacked one time. Uptown Sports says we should trade for Jeffrey Simmons or Jair Alexander this offseason. What do you think, Tone? I don't know, man. They're gonna want a first-round pick for Jeffrey Simmons because he's still young, right? He's still young. The Black Line says we're about to dub these dudes. I think we win about double digits. I think so too, but I don't want to say it just yet. Well, I kind of already said it, right? But I had us beating San Fran by double digits. My score for the San Fran game was 31-21. We beat them 31-7. How you doing? How you doing? Man, Samoa said he cooked Javon Kinlaw. Yeah, Javon Kinlaw, man. I got a lot of respect for him as a player, but he's been kind of underwhelming. But to your point, Black Line, I said we're going to win by double digits against the 49ers. Hey, I don't see why we can't win by double digits against the Chiefs, but here's the thing, man. Patrick Mahomes is a different animal. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback we've seen all year. He's the best quarterback anybody will see all year. You know, it doesn't get more complicated than dealing with a guy like Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes is the real deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's the real deal. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend Patrick Mahomes is gonna get dog walked. He not. Patrick Mahomes probably gonna throw for 300 yards plus, maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns. You never know. Like, Patrick Mahomes is gonna work this thing. That's just the reality. But ultimately, he gotta deal with this Eagles defense, and this Eagles defense has been pretty good. Say what you want about Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon, we all got our own opinions about him. I'm not really a fan of his philosophy. I'm not. But Jonathan Gannon, the results are what they are. He's built a Super Bowl level defense. Well, Howie Roseman added the pieces. But he's been coaching a Super Bowl level defense. The numbers say he's pretty good at what he does. The results say, he's pretty good at what he does. And again, I'm not a fan of his philosophy per se. I'm not. But the results, man, hey. So we're going to find out just how good Jonathan Gannon is. And you guys said it. Listen, you guys are bringing up very good points, especially Spa City. That's a really good point. We got to think about how he does against really good passers. And Patrick Mahomes will be the best passer that he will ever face. It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any more high profile than Patrick Mahomes. What you see, all right, let me ask you guys this, right? Because I lean on you guys in this regard. I'm thinking about Patrick Mahomes. He's had a hell of a season. But I want to know from your perspective, what does Jonathan Gannon need to do to make Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable? What does Jonathan Gannon and this Eagles defense need to do to make him uncomfortable? Because it can't just be, oh, we got to rush the passer, right? I'm looking for a little bit more detail than that, right? If you ask me, I think they need to speed up his clock. Speed up his clock and get hands and feet on him early. Get hands and feet on him early. Speed up that clock. But here's the thing about Patrick Mahomes as well. He's so good at throwing off balance. He's so good at throwing off balance. So it's almost like, yeah, you can force him off his spot. But damn it, he make ugly throws work. He throwing jump man passes. He throwing no looks. He think he playing. You see, Patrick Mahomes plays football like he playing basketball. He play football like he playing basketball. Finesse, no looks, behind the backs, windmills. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like diving throws, running, doing stuff with one leg. Patrick Mahomes is a wizard. He's a wizard. He's a magician back there. He make it look easy. So I'm curious, what do you do to stop a guy like Patrick Mahomes? What do you do? All right, let's get to some thoughts here. Mansa Musa, he says, press with a zone behind it. The D-line will do their part, but we got to take away Kelce. That's going to be tough, especially when T.J. Edwards and Kaiser White have struggled to stop tight ends, right? As a matter of fact, you can make an argument that T.J. Edwards and Kaiser White, they got off easy in the NFC Championship. They got off easy. They got off easy because they really weren't tested. Obviously, because Brock Purdy got hurt. Josh Johnson, we knew he wasn't really going to do much. But you can make an argument that T.J. Edwards and Kaiser White got off a little easy. They didn't have to worry about George Kittle throughout that whole game. You can make an argument for that. But that's why having Avonte Maddox and C.J. Gardner-Johnson back there is huge. Because what they're able to do is they make plays. They're able to jump the ball, jump the route. They're really good at that. They're playmakers. But George Kittle wasn't the matchup for Avonte Maddox. But I think Kelce, because he's slimmer, he's not as physically imposing as a George Kittle. I think Avonte maybe can play that situation a little bit better. Same thing with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They could probably play that situation a little bit better. Spa City says jam at the line and disrupt his timing. Here's the thing about Patrick Mahomes right now in his career. He's not even making big plays now. He's being surgical with it. Nickel and diming you, 5 yards here, 10 yards here, 12 yards here, 8 yards there. He's not afraid to be surgical with it now. He's way more cerebral. And you got to give credit where credit is due, because when he lost Tyreek Hill, people had concerns, people had questions. But he proved that I'm the spoon that stirs this cup. I'm the straw in this cup. You feel what I'm saying? I'm the major engine in this locomotive. You dig me? So Patrick Mahomes proved a lot of people wrong this year. People thought his game was going to suffer without Tyreek Hill. The opposite happened. He actually became a smarter quarterback, way more surgical, way more cerebral, not afraid to take the 10-yard pass or the 5-yard pass. Not afraid, but he could still slaughter you going deep, right? But they don't really have a deep threat. They don't really have it. You have certain guys playing above their pay grade, right? You have guys like a Marquez Valdez Scantling, a Juju Smith-Schuster, Justin Watson, McCole Hardman when he's healthy. But so far in the postseason, it's really been Travis Kelce with 21 catches and then everyone else. Travis Kelce, think about this, you guys. Travis Kelce has 25 targets. The next closest guy has 10 targets, and that's Marquez Valdez Scantling. That's telling. That tells you a lot. Arthur Brown, I like your mindset. Just play football. No gadgets, no tricks. Just play ball for 60 minutes. I like that. Spa City says, it's like he's scared of the good passers. You're talking about Jonathan Gannon, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's strange. It's strange, man. DMO Hines says, no Eagles fan can fraud. Like Mahomes, not a Bolton. Let me read that again. He said, no Eagles fan can fraud. Like Mahomes is that bull. Like, I just think we got a better team. I agree with you on that. Like Mahomes is that guy, but I think we have a better team, period. That's what I think, man. That's what I think. Jorge Mendoza says, I don't follow them, but that Pachenko kid looks good. Yeah, Pachenko, he runs hard, man. I like him. He's fast and he runs hard. Lala D says, Sue more than likely will give some insight from Super Bowl LV. That's a good point. What is that, 55, right? Spa City says, have you ever thought that the AFC has so many good passers because nobody has a good defense? Huh. I never thought about that. That's something I got to look into. I never thought about that, Spa City. Huh. The AFC has so many good passers because nobody has a good defense. I've never thought about that. But, I mean, we can't deny Patrick Mahomes' greatness. We can't deny how good Joe Burrow is. We can't deny how good, no matter how we feel about him, we can't deny how good Justin Herbert is as a passer. Who else is over there? We can't deny how good Lamar Jackson is. We can't deny who else, man. We can't deny how good Josh Allen is. No matter what we may think, no matter what the result was in the playoffs, we can't deny how talented those guys are as passers. But you bring up a very interesting point. Because in the NFL, the two best defenses were in the NFC. Okay, let me ask you guys this then, because now you got me thinking. Who has the best defense in the AFC? The best defense. Spa City, you brought up a good topic. Who has the best defense in the AFC? I'm really curious about that. So, wow, this is interesting. Let's just start with yards per game, right? The Philadelphia Eagles lead the NFL in team opponent yards per game. So the Eagles don't give up. The Eagles give up the least yards. The Eagles give up the least total yards to the opponent with 290. And then San Francisco is second. Washington is third. And then the New York Jets are fourth. Who would have thought? The New York Jets, when it comes to yards given up, the New York Jets are ranked fourth in the NFL. The New York Jets give up the fourth least amount of yards in the NFL. And then you got New Orleans at 5, and then you got Baltimore at 6, Buffalo at 7, Denver at 8, New England at 9, Kansas City at 10. That's in terms of yards, though. Now, so after Baltimore is Buffalo. And look, this is only yards. This is only yards. The Eagles lead the NFL in terms of yards given up. They give up the least amount of yards. And then San Fran is 2. Washington is 3. The New York Jets are 4th. So that's the first AFC team we come across. Then New Orleans 5th. Baltimore is 6. Buffalo 7. Denver 8th. New England 9. Kansas City 10. So we've talked about the yards now. Let's move on to opponent yards per play. Let's look up yards per play now. We talked about yards per game. Let's go down to yards per play. Who's giving up the least amount of yards per play? The Philadelphia Eagles again. They're giving up the least amount of yards per play with 4.7 yards. And then you have the New York Jets at 2, giving up 4.8 yards per play. And then San Fran 3rd, New Orleans 4th, New England 5th, Denver 6th, Buffalo 7th, Dallas 8th, Kansas City 9th, Washington 10th. So again, the New York Jets are one of the better teams in terms of yards given up. They don't give up that many yards per game, and they don't give up that many yards per play. All right, let's go down to another category. Let's see who's giving up the most first downs. This is a very interesting stat, right? Who's giving up? Actually, let's approach it from this perspective. Who's allowing teams to convert third downs at the highest clip? Let's discuss opponent third down conversions per game. Let's discuss that. So Washington, they're giving up the least amount of third down conversions. They're one of the best third down teams in the NFL. Then there's Green Bay ranked second, Denver's third, the Chargers are fourth, Baltimore's tied for fourth. The Giants are 6th, Tennessee is 7th, Buffalo's 8th, Eagles are 9, Rams are 10. But I don't really like the way they break this stat down. I want third down conversion rate. That's what I want. I want the percentage, not how many actual third downs they give up. I don't want that. I don't want that. Let me see something. Here it is. Opponent third down conversion percentage. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, you guys. Also, we got 48 people in this live stream, man. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys continue to stay engaged in the content, man. It means a lot to me. I like to have fun with you guys, ultimately. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. All right. Here we go. When it comes to team third down conversion percentage for the opponent, the Washington Commanders are the best third down team in the NFL. Well, they were. The Washington Commanders were ranked first in the NFL in terms of opponent third down conversion percentage. Washington is only allowing 31.9% of third downs to be converted. That's really, really good. So Washington is first, Denver is second, Tennessee is third, Baltimore is fourth. The New York Giants are fifth, Buffalo 6th, Green Bay 7th, Tampa Bay 8th. The Indianapolis Colts are 9th, the New York Jets and the Eagles are tied for 10th. So the Eagles have a top 10 third down defense. Top 10. It could be better, but it's top 10. Now, in the last 3 games, the Eagles have been limiting teams very well on third down at only 31%. Only 31%. So the Eagles are pretty good on third down. Pretty good. Could be better. Now, Kansas City, on the other hand, their defense is not that good on third down. Teams are converting almost 50% of their third downs on Kansas City. Kansas City has given up exactly 48% on third downs in the last 3 games. In the last 3 games, Kansas City has given up 48% on third down conversion rate. All season, though, it's been 39%. So on the season, the Kansas City Chiefs were ranked 17th in third down conversion rate for the opponent. But in the last 3 games, man, oh man, they are one of the worst. They are ranked 29th in the NFL in terms of third down conversion rate in the last 3 games. That's not a good look for them on defense. Not a good look for them at all. But overall, though, I think this Eagles team can definitely get up on this Kansas City Chiefs defense. I really believe that. It all remains to be seen, though. but I think they can do it. The Eagles are one of the best teams in terms of converting third downs on offense. Danny D says, remember that Maddox and Gardner missed time. Legal Side Hustle says, yeah, CJ back in the mix. You're right. You're right. Arthur Brown says it won't matter. Since the first Super Bowl, the NFC East Coast, the NFC were smash mouth ball. AFC West Coast, NFC throws the ball. Oh, I get what you mean. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Arthur Brown. Yeah, like it's been like that for a while. NFC is a lot of smash mouth football, a lot of physical football. AFC is more about finesse. Definitely. I could definitely see that. Jose Serrano says, comparing Reddick and Jones, Reddick has a better chance than Jones to have a huge game. Bengals O-line, not even close to our boys. That's a really, really good point. The Bengals O-line, remember, they had a good game against the Buffalo Bills, but those circumstances were pretty interesting. Buffalo lost their pass rush at the Von Miller went down. So the Bengals O-line got confident. They got fat off of that performance. But then they played an actual pass rush with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they couldn't stop a nosebleed. So I think you're right, Dink Burrito. I think the Eagles can actually run pretty well on the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's how this game is going to be won, right? It's going to be won in the trenches, and I just don't think the Kansas City Chiefs can stop the run consistently, and that's going to be their death by 1,000 cuts. You follow me? That's going to be their undoing. So when it comes to now, hear me out on this, you guys. Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. The Kansas City Chiefs are one of the best teams when it comes to converting their own third downs. The Kansas City Chiefs offense is ranked second in the NFL in third down conversion rate. The Eagles are ranked fourth. So both of these teams are really, really good on third down. It's so funny. The top 6 teams that are good on third down were in the playoffs. You see, there are certain stat categories that are extremely important to long-term success, right? One of the most important stat categories in terms of team success is third down conversion rate. And if you look into the top 10 of the teams that convert the ball on third down, just think about the top 10 teams in terms of third down conversion rate on offense. Let's count them, right? We got Buffalo ranked number 1 in third down conversion rate, Kansas City 2, Cincinnati 3, the Philadelphia Eagles 4, Dallas 5, San Fran 6, Pittsburgh 7, Chargers 8th, Falcons 9, Jacksonville 10th. So out of the top 10 third down offenses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them made the playoffs. 8 of the top 10 third down conversion offenses made the playoffs. That's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal, you guys. 8 of the top 10 teams on third down made the playoffs. So if your team is good on third down, if your team is able to make a difference on third down, if your team is able to convert third downs on a more consistent clip, your team 9 times out of 10 will make the playoffs. Well, 8 times out of 10 will make the playoffs. But if we expand that to the top 12, let's have some fun with this, right? If we expand this to the top 12, not just the top 10, but the top 12, 10 of the top 12 third down offenses made the playoffs. 10 times out of 12 times, if your team is good on third down, you're making the playoffs. That's why it's so important what Jalen Hurts brings to the table. Jalen Hurts in that RPO system forces linebackers, forces D linemen, forces safeties to really think twice about how they're going to handle this offense. But also Patrick Mahomes doing what Patrick Mahomes does. He does a great job of converting third downs as well because of his ability to pass that ball. So we're going to see 2 of the best third down offenses in the NFL play in the Super Bowl. That's not by accident. Both the Chiefs and the Eagles are in the top 5 in terms of third down conversion rate on offense. That matters. That kind of stuff matters. So I'm really excited to see this thing play out. Ding Burrito says their offense is really good, but they're not as explosive. Good point. They've been held under 24 points in multiple games. We hold them to under 24. We win this game easily. That's a good point. Jose says stats on third down defense. I just talked about those, Jose, but I'll go back for you, man. I'll go back for you because I appreciate you, man. I'll go back for you. So total defense, third down conversion percentage. Now here's where it gets interesting, you guys, and I want you to follow me here. You got to follow me here, okay? Even though the Kansas City Chiefs are a top 5 third down offense, they are only ranked 17th in the league in terms of third down defense. You hear me out on that? The Kansas City Chiefs are a top 5 third down offense. To be specific, to be very specific, the Kansas City Chiefs are ranked second in the NFL in third down offense. But when it comes to their third down defense, they're ranked 17th. The Eagles have a top 5 ranked 4th third down offense. The Eagles offense is ranked 4th on third down when it comes to their offense. But when it comes to their defense, they're ranked 10th. So something has to give here, right? The trends tell you the Eagles are better on third down from a defensive perspective. But the Chiefs are slightly better on third down from an offensive perspective. So something has to give here, you guys. It's going to be important for the Philadelphia Eagles third down defense to step up. It's going to be really important. Because we know the third down offense is going to be there. It's going to be really interesting to see how this thing plays out. Drew Johnson says Spagnuolo has a reputation of galvanizing his team in the playoffs. Those old Giants teams' defenses played much better in the playoffs. That's a very, very, very good point. That's a very good point that you brought up here. And you're right. You're actually right. And I'm going to tell you why you're right. In the last 3 games, you guys, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna make sure I got my numbers right, you guys. Excuse me. I hear what you're saying about Spagnuolo, Drew Johnson. You bring up a very good point about Spagnuolo. His teams do better in the playoffs. But let me ask you this, and let me tell you this, right? Remember, I told you guys the Kansas City Chiefs third down defense is ranked 17th, giving up 39% in conversion rate on defense on third down. They're actually worse in the last 3 games. The Kansas City Chiefs third down defense in the playoffs in the past 3 games has been terrible. The Kansas City Chiefs are ranked 29th in the last 3 games in third down defense. The Kansas City Chiefs are giving up almost 50% of a third down conversion rate on defense. So I hear what you're saying, Drew, about Spagnuolo galvanizing his defenses, but right now the numbers tell you the Chiefs are worse on third down right now. They're worse. They've only played 2 games in the playoffs because they had the 1 seed. But again, in the past 3 games, the Chiefs' third down defense has gotten worse. The Eagles' third down defense has gotten better. You follow me here? Third down defense. During the regular season, the Eagles are ranked 10th. In the playoffs, the Eagles have the best third down defense. The best. That's just what the numbers say. That's just what the numbers say. The Chiefs had one of the worst. That's just what the numbers say, though. Now, granted, last week, the Chiefs made plays. They forced turnovers. They were opportunistic. They have a very good pass rush. But the bottom line is on third down, that Chiefs defense has gotten worse. The Eagles defense on third down has gotten better. That's just what the numbers say. But again, you guys, I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate y'all so much for locking in on the content, man. We've had fun today, right? You know, we joked around. We took shots at people. People took shots at me. Overall, man, I appreciate anybody, friend or foe. I appreciate any and everybody that comes into this live chat to rock with me, to talk trash to me. Best believe I don't take any of it personal because I appreciate you guys and the fact that you're here, the fact that you guys are just rocking with me, good, bad, or indifferent. Hey, man, we're moving the needle. And I appreciate y'all so much. So make sure you guys smash that like button if you're just getting here. I'm sorry if you guys have missed the live stream, but you guys can always double back. Anybody watching this live stream after the fact, man, don't be afraid to rewind. Don't be afraid to double back. I appreciate any and all activity on the YouTube channel. Like I said, man, you guys are some of the best people, some of the smartest fans had the opportunity to really converse with. And we're going to keep doing it, right? We're going to keep this energy up, and I appreciate y'all so much. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry.